Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P-Farm, thinking right out here in the lab, in the book, doing what I do to enlighten you. I got something nice for you today. Let's get this party started. I rub my hands a little chilly, but it's all good. You know how we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. You know what we do. Let's go. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, stay tuned. Tune in. I can help you with that. Yeah, that's what I do. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows not that they know, spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. We in the meditation state. I'm trying to teach you how to get your mind right. Okay, that's the cover. It's by my man, Dr. Muatar Ashby, another part of his collection. That's where I got the whole library. It's full of his books. Okay, so yes, that's where I get my lessons from. All right, now let's talk about, so I get in the mind right. Let's talk about what is the mind. Oh, mama, stop it. When you come here, come with an empty cup. Don't come here with anticipations and no expectations. Empty the cup. Let me fill it up for you. How about that? Let's go. That's a concept that I learned from my old professors, my teachers. What is the mind? First of all, in order to begin to understand what meditation is all about, it will first be what necessary to get and gain a simple understanding of what the mind is and how it relates to the human being. Many people have been educated with the notion that the mind is an emanation or a secretion of the physical brain and the body. Wrong. And that the feelings, desires, and emotions, which altogether form a complex, which is referred to as a human being, or are all products, of the physical self, the ego self. Further, the popular notion, again, in the scientific disciplines of modern society, is that the mind is an individual human being, is like a unique cell which contains only the information which is put on it through what? Living, the senses, the five senses. This thing in your head, it has a whole lot of stuff in it. It's the Akashic Records. It has memory from everything that ever happened. Why? Because it's been around before. That's the conscious mind. That's the mind. And we're about to try to break it down so you understand. And this thing is tough. Watch this. Now, if this notion is true, that the mind only got what you put on it, no, okay? And this notion was true, then watch this. Can science explain why modern parapsychologists have documented cases where what? Where people have exhibited knowledge of occurrences across the world. The mind is infinite. It has no boundaries. It's limitless. Okay? Now, how can they explain the fact that many small children have even recalled exact details and memories of what? A past life, and that these memories have been confirmed again by the families which the child lived in during the previous lifetime. How could that be possible? And how can you explain that? How about this? When a mother somehow knows when the child is in imminent danger, even if the child is on the other side of the world. I never forget when my man passed, I felt something, unbeknownst to me, but after I felt something, I got the call. And before I answered the phone, I already knew what it was. I already knew. So yeah, that's how the brain. I had no idea back then what that was about. But yeah, I was okay. And I picked up the phone many times thinking about my mom. Back in the day. Old phone, you dial it, do. How about you pick up the phone? I pick up and she on the other end. You got it more than once. That's old school synchronicity, but that's how the mind works. It's a powerful thing. It got plenty of juice, trust me. And watch this. But the answer is that they cannot explain it through scientific means. So these occurrences are what? They brushed off as flukes, coincidence. Yeah, the spirit didn't get the brainwashing. Memory loss would come back with a blank slate. It came back with an understanding where it come from. That happens. That's what they try to say. I understand that. But watch this. Now, they call it flukes or coincidences. But indeed, many scientists have refused to acknowledge the evidence which points to the fact that the mind, or what every human being calls the essence of who they are and what makes them unique, is not confined to what? Locality. Again, boundless. It is aware of activities from far away. Further, the memory which together combine to form what? The content of a person's history are not just what? Summations of a person's experience in the past or the present lifetime, but of what? Previous one. Dun, 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 as well. The spirit carries memory. The mind is in reality what? An expression, again, of the what? Ocean of consciousness. I ain't going there. In much the same way, watch this, as a wave is an expression of the vast ocean, we are all just an expression of that vast consciousness. How about that? So the individual mind, which is yours, to do whatever you mean, free will, to do whatever you want with it, is yours. And the human being is in what? It's an emanation of what? The universal mind. And the universal mind is also pervasive and therefore all-knowing. That's the Akashic records. When you go back to that level of consciousness, it knows all. God's all conscious. When you make connection with him, you become like him. What? Knowledge of everything. Mainly yourself. Okay, but they tell you that's how the mind works. And so therefore, if the limitations of you, the individual, your individual mind, are overcome, you can rise past the obvious, raise your consciousness. It can now discover what is universal and all-encompassing nature, which is what? The higher true reality, thyself. I hope you understand it. I get excited when I think I hit the point, got it across, so I'm moving on. But the mind is in reality an expression. Oh, excuse me. Nope, did that one. The mind now, watch this. The mind may be likened to a prism. Here we go with the refraction in the 7 colors. Now, in science, the prism, when I was a kid, we had physical science. It showed you kinetic energy, showed you math, it showed you everything that was just simple, common stuff. I learned this in 5th grade. And still today, some people know how the rainbow prism is about, so let me go over that right quick. But now, in science, again, physical science, it may be used to what? Refract normal daylight. When this is done, it is possible what? To see that daylight is what? Really composed of a spectrum of pure colors. Colors, I don't see no color. Again, pay attention. The prism, which separates the daylight into 7 colors, 7 planets, 7 days of the week, See where we going with this? Seven chakras, okay? But trust me, seven is a mystical number, and this is one of the reasons why. Why? Because each of these colors have a different wavelength, frequency, and vibration. When they all in tune together, ooh, it's a beautiful thing. The serpent rises. What? The Kundalini serpent. Why? Because you're living right, you're thinking right, you're doing right, and it just loves that. It just gets excited. It rises. Like the snake, do 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 do. He can't resist. He got to come out. Why? Because it just gets him. That's the spirit. That's what they're trying to show you. And they've been doing this for a long time. Symbology. A lot of us who don't understand esoteric and symbolism, we miss everything. So yeah, I'm one of them guys. I see that. Point out symbolisms. I might be a pain in the butt to go watch a movie with. So yeah, I get it. That's why nobody hang out with me. But it's the wavelengths, and it's allowing them to what? To be placed in 7 bands. The colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Do you know what indigo is? See this color blue right here? This is blue. Sky, what? The blue. In the daylight, the refraction from the daylight makes it look light blue. At night, you get the what? The indigo blue. So some people don't know what's indigo. I said, man, okay, break it down for them. Hope you understand it. So you got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then it goes from daylight to dark, indigo, and then you come back to what? Violet. That's the royal number, okay? These colors can be mixed to produce other colors. Yep. Interestingly, any color can be obtained by mixing 3 primary colors. Really? Red, black, and red, green, and black. Don't ask questions, just listen. And if you want to go that next step, put it to the test. That's what you gotta do. If they said it here, I'm going with this. I ain't got time. Well, did you choose yourself? Did you follow this? Man, I ain't got time for that. It's ignorant. Moving on, okay? But the 3 colors that you can any color from, it says those colors. Now, in the right proportions, again, done right. So what? The existence of different wavelengths is what allows what us human eyes to perceive the different colors. But in reality, they are all just emanations from one single light, white light. Okay, moving on. You can get all from white, and from all you go back to white. They proved that point too many times. And in the same way, the physical body, right here we go. Now the physical body and the brain, your nervous system, that thing in our head is connected to our spinal column, okay? It runs throughout the body. So the nerve endings in the brain, they all connected to one that runs the body. It ain't the other way around. Watch this. So the physical body and nervous system. In the human being, your nervous system acts like a prism. Why? Because the light of consciousness which runs it, which pervades the entire universe, is seemingly what? Refracted, and thereby all the different forms and textures and colors of what? Nature now become discernible. This is what makes it possible for what? For an individual human being to be able to discern the different forms and the colors of nature. Green, we know everything go green, okay? We know fire is hot, red, okay? So this also is the source of notions about individuality. Me, I, that's ego. You got to rise above that. That's the whole concept of our ancient ancestors. Get you out of ego mode quick as possible. Why? It's going to hurt you. It's going to keep you recycling. Nobody wanted that. So you want to get knowledge of self, get out of that individual mode, separation in time and space. It's understandable. This is the basis of human experience. We're born there. We got to rise. And all human experiences are what? Are related to the senses, the 5 senses of the physical body, and perception of colors of time and space. With this physical body, you're limited. The spirit is limited, and you got to understand that. But the mind is not. Move on. Many people consider what? That their physical body, their self, the I, is the only reality about them. Ignorant against their higher self. Again, they didn't know their lower self, the ego self. Watch this. Yet, but in their dream, they experience what? A different reality. So now in the waking self, you think it's all about me, the body. Yeah, my body go, yeah. But when you go to sleep, you go into the astral plane where your body got no place. Why? You don't need it. It's all up here, mental. And further in, watch this, that's a dream state. You got another state called a dreamless sleep state, where there is still what? Another personality to be dealt with, which they call a witness. That's Amun, the hidden one. He hides in your highest consciousness. You got to come to get him. You got to rise to him. He ain't coming down to you. He don't move. The mountain don't come to you. You go to the mountain, so to speak. And that's the concept. So watch this. So which is the true personality out of the three? The casual. The last one, the one that hard to get to. Why? It takes work. That's why he said, I'm going to leave my people here. Only ones who can come get to me now will have to work and earn their way to come. Been that way since a long time. Y'all call it heaven. But the essence, I say the spirit is on loan from God. Your job as an individual is to become conscious of that so you can go home and meet your father, meet your maker, whoever you want to call it, okay? But the essence is all that of what? Of these, your personalities are relative and therefore illusionary, which is unreal. Why? They ain't real. Come on, stay with me. But this is to say they are only relative expressions of what? Your higher reality, which is in the mind, which is the absolute and abiding truth. You just don't know it yet. When you communicate with him in that deeper state, you come out, you feel so good. Yeah, you don't hang out with God. That's where you want to be anyway. Eventually, if you do it right, that's where you're going to end up. And you get a taste of that. So you know it's something more. Simple, okay? So the soul, or your individual soul of human consciousness, is the source which sustains the mind, the spirit, and the physical self, the body. Thus, the spirit the spirit essence, of the human being is what? Is responsible for its existence of the mind and body, and not the other way around. The subconscious controls the body function. You don't think about it. Why? It's your subconscious. That's under your consciousness right now. You're conscious of doing everything. But you ain't got to be conscious for the body to function. Okay? Understand that. That's why. So the mind, watch this, I'm wrapping it up. The mind in human beings is always, watch this, concentrating on what? The past, the present, or the future. It's three places at once. You want to fine tune it. Take out the present, forget the future, stay in the now. Take out the past, take out the future, narrow it down to the finest point, which is the present, and now you'll be on fire. Watch this. Hope you understand that concept. I'm about to take you right there. Now, from the time you wake up in the morning until the time you go to sleep, this thing is always computing, subconscious, taking in information, stuff that you ain't paying attention to, but it does. So all day long, you got to stay focused. Why? If not, you having a whole bunch of baggage and luggage with you. That's the purpose of meditating, to clean out that nonsense. But watch this. When you are constantly bombarded on a day-to-day basis with ideas of what you have done, what you're going to do, what you're doing now, what the future would be, that's all over the place. No. But what happened when you went to sleep, all that stuff just dissipated. Now you're in a dream state. You're in a whole different state of mind. Okay? What happens to your thoughts, which were so important and so pressing, so demanding? When you go to sleep, it means nothing. The past, the present, and the future, what? They all fade away. So what they tell you? None of it was real. Okay? Until what? To the midst of what? Your sleep. As if they never existed. Until what? Most people do not give much importance to sleep. Trust me. Even though, watch this, the average person spends 1/3 of your human existence sleep. I told you, sleep is preparing you for death. Get used to it, okay? Of the human existence in a sleep state. Everybody don't get 8 hours sleep, okay? Give or take a few, whatever, but it still comes out to pretty much 1/3 of your life. You spend getting rest. You have to. The body needs it. That's why, again, and what would happen if you were to be able to transcend what? Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, as well as the waking time and the dream time. What would happen if this light of consciousness, which seems to what? Fragment into waking, dreaming, and dreamless state, three states of consciousness, and the various thoughts of your mind were not refracted, meaning being able to break down. What would happen if all of the wavelengths were just reconverged into one again? That's what's going to happen anyway, okay? We start out, suck it back up to where it comes from. Nothing. Wrapping it up. But the practice, yeah, Mom, get him, Iverson. Practice? No, the daily practice of meditation, what it does, it acts as a focus device. It is a process by which what? The separated rays of your consciousness within your human being are now once again made whole. In much the same way, here's the example right here, of a magnifying glass. We all play with magnifying glass. My old man used to use it to read the paper because it made the words bigger, magnify the words. He was too vain to wear glasses. I wear glasses. He refused to wear glasses. He refused to magnify glass. I never understood that. So I get it now because without the glass, I can't see a damn thing. But yeah, the focus of the magnifying glass, but what it does, it focuses the rays of the sun, watch this, into what? All seven rays, the powerful forces, which it can ignite a fire. You put that light to that sun turning around and it magnifies that one, it can start a fire, right? Now, meditation, the focus of the rays of your mind, you put all those thoughts and everything into develop a one-pointed vision, narrow it all down, all that nonsense, focus on with the power to what? To burn away your illusions, your ignorance, and all negativity. When this occurs, what happened? You will have a new vision will emerge and a new understanding about oneself, about the universe, and the very nature of who you really are is emerged, just like what? The sun on a cloudy day. So meditation is like a process through which the scattered ideas, all the crazy nonsense, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and psychic energy, which make up the consciousness of a human being, are converged into what? In order to discover what lies beyond the multiplicity and the apparent differentiation of nature as well as the human heart. You become one. You focus your thing down and you become they call it on fire. You be burning up. Why? Because you eliminate all bad things. You're purifying yourself from the mind down. That's a beautiful way to look at it. Okay, hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back. I got more for you. We just getting started. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, 100 minus a day. But don't forget to meditate every day. And I never know that my right thinkers have passed away.